This is Debbie with the Crafty Diamond. Today I have my weekly WiP Chat, and I also have a small shop unboxing, and I wanted to go ahead and unbox this today because I want to use it. And this is a tray, and it is from one of our amazing sponsors for the Josephine Wall event, and this is from DP Gal Creations. And Jacqueline, the owner, has been very gracious. And I did purchase these. I wanted to purchase them before the event, and I wanted to support her small shop. I also have not used her trays, but the others have. That is in our group. They really like them. So I want to go ahead and open that, and then I'm going to get my WiP Chat or my WiP out and go to my WiP Chat. So if you're not familiar with what a WiP is, that is a work in progress. And so you're encouraged to work on anything that you want to or not work on anything. So I'm going to first go ahead and open this. And Jacqueline is working on some trays that's going to be specific for our events. And I am really excited about that. I have not opened this yet. I just slit the box open, so I don't know what's in here. I know what the trays I ordered because I ordered them. Oh, and I just kicked you, so sorry. Oh, these are wrapped up very nicely. We have some candy here. And DP Gal Creations is out of Canada, but I got this very fast. I was really surprised at how quickly it came in. We have some little Easter candy, some Smarties, and a coffee crisp. Lots of candy here. And then we have this gorgeous cover minder. That's really pretty. And the magnet is really strong. So that matches. Have some stickers here. I love owls, as you can tell with my owl. And then we have some Hello Kitties here and a unicorn. I love stickers. And then this says, Debbie, thank you very much for the order. I'm looking forward to joining in on the fun. And it says Jackie and Mike. Her husband's also owner. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to put this here, keep my cover minder out. I didn't think I would need my scissors. Maybe I don't need them. I'll just have to tear into it like Christmas. This is also another thing that I ordered. I ordered a cover minder, and when you see what I'm working on, you will understand why. But it is a mermaid tail. Isn't that cute? And it has a really nice magnet on the back. I will definitely be using that one today. And so let's open the trays. And here, I've got 2 trays here. And I ordered the trays in gray. So there's that one. I think that one is her medium size. I don't really have a use for the real small trays. I don't know how small hers are, but I like the medium trays and large trays when I order. Okay, so here's a large tray. It does say DP Gal Creations on the side. It does have a nice stopper, and typically I don't use these stoppers. So I'm going to take the stopper out, and it just simply fits back in like this one. It just slides in there. I usually don't use a stopper. I don't want to lose them, so I'm going to keep it in there. But these trays are really nice. They're really nicely made, and that's what I'm going to be using today. So thanks to Jacqueline and Mike at DP Gal Creations for sending this so quickly. Now I'm going to move all this out of the way so I can have plenty of room. I think I'm going to use the larger one today. I might be able to actually do some multi-placing. This is the one that I'm working on. And first of all, I want to show you what this looks like on the bottom part that I've done, and then I will pan out once. I'm going to move you over a little. That'll be easier. I'm going to pan you out once we are done today, but this is a mermaid, and the mermaid tail is going to be perfect with this one. So that's why I got it. And I've gotten quite a bit done. I'm almost to the halfway point of this one, and I'm going to move the cover minder that I have now, and this one came from Diamond Art Club. I'm going to actually use my mermaid tail, and this is going to hold back. I keep the plastic on here until I'm done with the section. So I'm going to raise this up. I've already cut it, and I'm going to put this on here, and it's just going to hold back the actual plastic here, the film cover, and that's going to be really cute. And so now I'm going to go ahead, I'm working on this section here, and I've already outlined all of the black except over here a little bit, but I'm going to focus on her little fin here on the tail. This has turned out so pretty so far. So let me go ahead, I want to get a color, and I can't wait to use these new trays. This was one of the kits that had horrible confetti. I mean, not confetti, good grief. Had a horrible static. And, oh, I like how this is looking. It just a little bit of a shake, and they line up beautifully. And that's what I want, especially if I decide to multi-place. I am going to be using Randa's putty. I love her putty. I've pretty much just been using her putty. I'm going to go ahead and put some more in really quick. I've been using her putty more than anything else. I also use Enabler's Outpost, their chit, and I use between the single placer and the multi for both of those. I'm going to go ahead and put some more putty in my multi. This kit is from Diamond Art Club. It is called Rochelle, and it is by Hannah Lynn. I did an unboxing on this one, as well as the actual kitting up, and the kitting up was my latest kitting up that I have on my channel, and it was just chock full of static. I mean, the static was so bad, and several of you have made comments and gave me some really good suggestions on the next time that I have static, and I use those suggestions, and they worked out perfectly on the last one that I have, and I'll go over that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm ready here. I am using this pen, and it is green. It kind of looks mermaidish, so if that's a word, mermaidish. So I'm going to use that one today. Make sure you can see okay, and it looks like you guys can. And I may just single place. A lot of times if I start to multi-place and then I'm talking, then I don't know, I just get confused. Forget either what I'm saying, or I just I don't really pay attention on my multi-placing, and then when I'm off camera, it looks rather wonky. So we'll see what I'm in the mood for. And you know, sometimes I just like to hear the pop, and I think that you guys do too, and it's just so satisfying. And so sometimes I'll just single place just so I can hear the pop. I think it's relaxing and it's satisfying, and you know, it just kind of makes things nice, especially when it's really quiet in my house. And if I don't want to listen to anything, I don't have a WiP Chat to listen to of another creator, and I don't want to listen to TV or music or watch anything or listen to a book, sometimes I'll just single place. It's kind of like one of those ASMR videos. So how is everybody doing? I hope that you've had a great week since we were together last Tuesday, and hope everyone is well and safe, and hope you had a nice relaxing weekend. Our weekend was kind of busy. I work for a school, a college, and I do that full time. I don't have to work on the weekends there. Sometimes I do if I get to where I need to get some things done, or need to speak to some students, but didn't really have to do anything for that school. But I also work part-time for another school that is strictly online, and I had to do a lot of responses to what they call discussion postings, where you give them a topic and they will answer the discussion posting. And on the first week of class, we are required to respond to all discussions. and I am teaching 2 classes there, so that's about 65, 68 students, and I had to do that yesterday. Of course, they wait until the last minute to post theirs, which is typical, and so I spent quite a bit of time on Saturday and a couple of hours yesterday on getting that done. So that took some time, and I also wanted to go ahead and get a jump start on my grading for them and then reviewing some other things. So that was kind of my weekend off and on. But I did get my car washed. My daughter went to Night to Shine, which is a special needs dance, and they always give the community, gives out a lot of things to the caregivers. And one thing that she had gotten in her little swag bag was a free car wash. And so she asked me if I would like to have her car washed because she doesn't have a car. And she said, your car is a little dirty. Well, yeah, yes, it is. Because, it's winter and I haven't washed it. And so I went to, and it's a new car wash. I went to this car wash and they told me that I had got the ultimate car wash. That was what the coupon was for. It was, their best top of the line car wash. And it normally would have been $25. And that's not even with vacuuming. If you want to vacuum it, you can vacuum it yourself. And I just wanted a car wash. So I didn't want to have to vacuum it myself, and I needed to do some other things, and it wasn't really that bad. So I thought, well, I just want to go get my car wash. You just sit in it, drive through the car wash. Well, it was a very short car wash, especially for $25. And then you can get out whenever you're done. If you want to, dry off your car, they have some, rags there and stuff. And so I did all of that. And I looked at my car and I thought, it's a good thing I did not pay for this car wash because it wasn't that great of a car wash. I mean, it kind of like shook the dirt off, but it didn't really get that much on the hood of my car. And that's where, or the trunk of my car, that is where a lot of the, grime was because, we have a lot of trees and there's trees at work. We do have a garage, but we haven't been parking in it. My husband's been using it as his workshop for now until we decide what we're going to do about him getting a building or not. But anyway, I was looking at my car and I thought, I am so glad I didn't pay $25 for this. And then when I was done, they asked if I would like to purchase an annual pass, and you can go and get unlimited car washes. And so the annual pass, which made no sense to me, the car wash that I had gotten, if I wanted to get one lower than that, the annual pass was $35. But it's $25 to get one car wash. So that made absolute no sense to me. And I didn't do it because when I was looking at it, I thought, I don't know if I want to get an annual pass here unless I just want to go just to get my car, halfway clean. If I go every week, maybe it'll be okay. But anyway, at least I got my car clean. This is not, I don't know what's going on here. This does not want to straighten. I'll have to take care of that when I get my straightener. It just keeps flipping over to the side here. Maybe that one's off. Well, I move this one up and then that one moves out. So anyway, I haven't had any problems with this one. I guess it's just me. Okay, so that's good. I like to have these as straight as possible, but sometimes that's not going to happen. So anyway, at least my car looks better. It's not as dirty as it was, so that's definitely a plus. And I'll probably go to a different car wash next week if we still have some nice weather, just to get it cleaned off some more and then see how that's going to do. My favorite car wash closed. There were 2 partners that owned it. They were getting into scuffles, and they decided to, instead of just trying to make up and to just run the business, they decided just to close it. And it was a very successful car wash, or it looked like it. There were always a lot of people there. It was a really good car wash, and they closed it, but someone else has bought it and they've been doing some renovations. So maybe they will open up and it'll be just as good or better than it was before. And that one, I probably would get an annual pass. I didn't know they even did annual passes. And they may not at this place. Maybe it was just the one I went to. But anyway, it was a beautiful day. I was really surprised that there wasn't as many people at the car wash. Maybe that's why, because it wasn't that great of a car wash. But we've had really nice weather here. It's like Mother Nature is just laughing at me. I think that Mother Nature is just really looking down at me and showing, I'll show you. And we've had beautiful weather in like the 60s, perfect spring weather for here. And then it goes to 78, which, that's still nice. The wind's been blowing. I mean, just like your perfect day. And then it goes back down to the 20s and 30s at night, or it will stay that way for a while. It's like, okay, make up your mind. Are you in winter mode? Are you in spring mode? I hope we don't go straight to summer, which is kind of looking that way. And we can get in the mid 90s here easy in the summer. So I'm not ready for that, but I am so over cold weather. I'm tired of being cold. I'm tired of wearing hoodies. I would like to just be able to wear short sleeves, or at least 3/4 length or something. I have to wear layers, and hopefully that will be happening soon. And then next week we have daylight saving time, and they were talking about doing away with it, but I guess they're not going to this year because they've waited too late to discuss it. But we lose an hour. Only way I can ever remember, do we lose an hour, do we gain an hour? For spring, we spring forward. It's the only way I remember that. So we are going to lose an hour on Sunday, and I'm not looking forward to that at all. But it is nice that it is daylight longer. That's the one good thing. I really prefer to stay as light as possible. And then also when it starts to get warmer, my husband and I like to sit out on our porch, and we'll just sit out there and we just talk and look at the stars. And we've done that for years and years. But we did have a screened in porch at our last house, or the house before that, and we really miss our screened in porch. We miss it a lot. We thought about building one here, and we had planned on it whenever we had bought this house. But it's not going to work out because they want to have to rip out the current deck, the existing deck, and then it's just going to be a mess, and it's going to cost way too much. The city where we live, we're actually, we're in the same city we were in the past two houses, but we are actually in the city and not considered on the outskirts. We're just barely in the city, and the city is very particular on what you do. They want a permit for everything, which is fine. We've done permits before. You pay your $50, you get your permit, you put the permit up, and then when it's done, you tell them. They do a drive-by, don't even come into the house. They don't go outside the house. They just drive by and they say it's up to standard if they can see it, outside. So that worked out the other house, but for here, they want you to have a permit, and then they will come during each stage and they will tell you if it's up to code, if it's okay, if they want something else done. And if they want something else done, you have to stop work, and then you have to do whatever they want done. You have to get the permit, so that takes time. And a lot of contractors, they don't want to fool with all of that. They want to come in, they want to get in, get everything done. They want to get out. They don't want to have to deal with the city. They don't want to have to deal with permits and all of that. And so they raise the prices up so high that if you're willing to do it, they'll do it. But it is like 4 times what it really should be. And so we're just not going to do it. But we sit outside, we fight mosquitoes. I have used citronella candles. I have used burners. We have done all kinds of things. We've sprayed, and it doesn't matter. It's like the mosquitoes are just, they're just waiting for us. And my poor daughter, when there's a mosquito, if there's a million people literally out somewhere and there's only one mosquito, that mosquito is going to find her. And I've been told, I don't know if this is true or not, but someone told me that mosquitoes go for particular blood types, and they're the ones that get bit the most, and so that would be her. So she doesn't go outside with us because of that, because even putting on some of that nasty smelling bug repellent, she still gets bit. It doesn't matter. They ignore the bug repellent. And we even have the one that's like for a forest. And we even spray that stuff in the air, and then we put it on us. And I can't stand that stuff. It smells. And even when we have the ones that are non-scented, it doesn't matter. To me, it just smells. Then you have to take a shower, which is fine. But I just hate that oily just feeling. I just feels gross. I don't like it. I don't think it's good for your body. But if we want to sit outside, I can't stand to get eaten up. So if you guys have any suggestions on anything, any other hacks, please let me know, because we really will start sitting out probably the middle of April or so. And when it's nice and cool, we're already starting to see mosquitoes this early in the year, which is not a good sign. It's a little bit early for that, I think. But I love sitting outside, and we just sit there. We don't have watch TV in the evenings. After dinner, we wait until it gets dusky dark, so that way the mosquitoes aren't nearly as bad. And so we'll do that until it starts getting too hot, and then we just won't be able to go out. Our next house, and we plan on, I don't think this is going to be our final house. We probably going to move one more time. We'll probably downsize. We want to move kind of further out of the city. And that will be like our last final house, retirement home kind of thing. And I've already told my husband that I want to have the house checked to make sure there's not a problem with building another deck, and to have a really nice screened-in porch. And that is like the only thing that I'm asking for, and he totally agrees. He says we're not going to do it until we find out that it can be done, how much that it's going to cost, because that is just something we both miss. Our cat misses it. She only went outside when we had the screened-in porch, and she absolutely loved it. But now she can't, and so we know that she misses it. But we can't put her outside because we're afraid she might run off. So anyway, that's kind of what we're starting to do here. I'm starting to do some spring cleaning. I've kind of gotten into the spring cleaning mood since the weather's turned off nice. And I've done a lot whenever we moved here 2 years ago on decluttering some things that we're not going to use. I am going to start working slowly in my craft room and determining, what I have not used in years. Am I going to use this? And what I think I'm going to do is the things that I don't think that I'm going to use, or that I haven't used in years, I don't plan on using, I'm going to put those in a special box. I'm going to put it in our basement. I'm going to label what's in there, and then I'm going to keep it in that box for about 6 months or so. And if I don't take anything out of that box, then in 6 months, I'm either going to sell it on eBay, or I am going to donate it. I think that's going to be the best thing to do, because I used to be a heavy, diehard scrapbooker. I haven't done that in years and years. I do have some catching up to do on my kids' scrapbooks, but I'm going to go through, pull the pictures, and I'm just going to do a digital. And that way it will save room, it will save some time. I have all of these albums from years and years ago. I have no place to put them. because I have so many and they're really bulky. And, you know, there's some that, you know, the kids love and there's others that they don't really care anything about. So I don't know. I'm going to wait and see. If you've noticed, I have pulled a couple of drills out and oh, I love this tray. I've pulled a couple of drills out. I'm going to put those in, I don't have a trash container. I'm just going to put it in one of my empties here because they have little holes in them. And, you know, that can't be helped. I don't see a problem with that. And there's one right there, too, that I did not see. I don't know if I can get this with my pen. I do have some tweezers that I could get. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take that one. That one's got a little hole in it, and I will fill that one back. There, okay. That way, I'm going to try to get one off of here so I can get that one filled back up. I just didn't see that when I was putting it in here. This has been a really fast kit. It's been a fun kit. I haven't been working on it that long, and it is working up really fast. I am doing this for Mermaids and Magic, hence a mermaid. And that is an event that is hosted by Crafting with Shay and also Randy at You Can Call Me Butter. And they did this last year, and I had so much fun with this. I'll go with the percentage. I had so much fun doing it. I actually worked on a Josephine Wall because that one, Laura with Anxiety Art Adventures, she actually hosted Josephine Wall last year, and it was during the same time as Mermaids and Magic. So I did the one kit for that, and then hers lasted 2 months and not just the one, but it still took me 4 months to get it done, 3.5 months. But I had a lot of fun doing it. Their WiP chats are really fun. It's a lot of fun to be part of the community that way. And I think they have several people, like at least 300 that is doing this. I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not doing it for prizes or anything. But I am going to be posting my progress pics of this one on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, look there and go ahead and start following me, and then you will be able to see the progress on this one. And then once I complete this one, I want to go back and start working on Dragon Lady, and that one is from Lazy River Diamond Paintings, and that one was a sneak peek that Steph sent me, and so I really do want to start working on that one again. I do have the first row completed, and that one is absolutely gorgeous. So I should get this one completed probably by the middle of March, if not sooner. Then I'll start on that one. So that will be a good thing. And I'm almost done with my Josephine Wall Diana. And that one, I am going to have a video coming up. And I am really excited about finishing that one just in time for our event. So that's a good thing. But I needed something that I wanted to kind of break up from the one I've been working on for so long. And I thought this is the perfect one. So much color blocking and bright colors. And it reminds me, of course, of the ocean, which reminds me of summer. And we haven't been to the beach in a long time. I would love to go just for a long weekend. I'm not the type that likes to sunbathe anymore. I think I am just too old for that. It's not good for your skin. My mom used to love to sit out in the sun when she was younger, and she developed skin cancer because of it. And so hers wasn't bad. So I thought, you know, I don't want to have to deal with that. Cancer runs in our family anyway. Not just skin cancer, but all different kinds of cancer runs in our family. And I thought, this isn't healthy. And now I just get too hot and miserable, and the hormones and everything. And it's just not for me. But I like to go out in the early morning or late in the evening after dinner and just walk the beach when there's not a lot of people there, and just walk up and down, have your toes in the sand. That is my time at the beach. And then I do like to sit in a chair and just read and just have the breeze flowing through our hair. And my daughter's the same way. She'll go out and she likes to jump the waves a little bit, but she doesn't, that's about all that she cares for. And Paige does not like to get hot. When she gets hot, it's like, watch out. She has an anxiety attack pretty much. It's like an anxiety attack. It is not good for anybody that's around her. It's not good for her. So we avoid or try to avoid that at all costs. So that's one thing that we've been, talking about, doing something. And she loves the pool. So I'd like to go and stay in a hotel, for a few days and let her go and swim. She's like a little fish. Let her swim, and then we can just have some time away. But I'm not sure when that's going to be, if we're able to even pull that off this year, because we've got a lot of things going on around the house and things and work that we have to get done. So we'll see. But at least I can look at this diamond painting and dream of the beach, because there is a lighthouse up at the top. So that's a lot of fun. I could even use this one, and I might, because it has so much green in it. I could even use this for the Emerald Along, and that's hosted by Lindsay with Emeralds and Fairy Lights, because there is a lot of green. And again, I wouldn't participate anyway. So if it wouldn't be considered enough green for her, then it doesn't matter, because I don't participate in prizes or anything. So I may do that just so I can have another tag to put on there. That would be kind of cool. There's several events coming up, and I'm kind of know what I want to do from now until the end of the year, which is very unusual for me. I don't plan. I am a planner, but I don't plan that much ahead. But I kind of know what I want to work on. Then I may change my mind when I decide to work on it. So we'll see. I took Paige to the doctor again. Her allergies have been just awful. And so they put her on something else. And then her doctor was talking to me and asking me, what were our plans for her whenever she ages out of the transition program that she's in for special needs. And so I told her that Paige is really interested in photography. She wants to take some photography online classes, and she doesn't know what she wants to do with photography, but that's kind of what she wants to do. And so the doctor gave me some really good recommendations that I didn't even think about, because it came up that they go on what they call CBI trips, but it's kind of like field trips, but they get to go on these for transition, and they do that because that's part of becoming, into the social, environment, and becoming part of, society. And they go to different places, they do different things. And so they are going this week, and Paige is just so excited about this. They're going to an animal shelter, and they are going to be doing some things at the animal shelter, playing with the dogs and cats and just different things. And they're going to spend about 3 or 4 hours there volunteering. And so Paige is really excited. And then my doctor said, that would be a really good thing to talk to this shelter, that maybe they need someone to take photos of the animals and then put them onto their website. And she said, even if it's not this shelter, Maybe it is like a dog, hotel that they want to have, different pictures and different things. And then at Christmas, they like to take little Christmas pictures. And so I thought, that it would be a great idea. And even if she can only volunteer and she doesn't get paid for it, then that will get her out of the house. It will get her active, get her to be thinking more on the lines of work and not to just sit at home and do nothing, for the rest of her life. So I'm talking to her teacher, who has a really good relationship with the owner of this. So it's a private little place that they're going to. So he is going to be speaking to the owner there. And that's going to be a lot of fun. And then they're also volunteering at another place that it's a ministry that is set up, but they do different things for people in the community that are in need, whether it is the food bank, whether it is, clothes or, whatever that they do. They do a lot of fundraisers and different things like that. And so they're going to be volunteering there as well. And I had to complete a form, and it asks, what exactly, would your young adult be interested in doing? There's another one with a hole in it. I'll have to get that one later. What your young adult might be interested in when they're volunteering for us. And so I was looking at some options, and they actually have photography. I don't know what she would be taking photos of, but I put that down as her number one priority. So that's really looking up, because I didn't even think of anything like that. And so I am really impressed that her doctor even recommended it, because nobody has recommended anything since, she was born. They didn't recommend that I do any specific testing. I've had to go out on my own and figure all this out. And so I really like our doctor. She had been going to a pediatrician, and then I started going to this doctor after the one that I had been seeing for 20 plus years retired. And he was actually a physician's assistant, a PA. And when he retired, it's in the same practice. But once he retired, I changed to one of their locations that was closer to our house. And I really do like her. So I think that she's going to be a big help for me and my family on different things that, we could use support on. And Paige really does like her. And she seems to really understand Paige. And so that's very important to me. So hopefully I will have some news to tell you next week about how her field trip went. And I'm really looking forward to that for her. And then tomorrow, which is today, they're having a special needs dance that the local high schools put on. And they haven't done it since the pandemic. And right before the pandemic, her class didn't participate because where she was going to school, they had specifics on who could attend the dance. They had changed it. And she and her classmates were not eligible, which, it really stunk, because she was in special needs, but because she didn't meet one qualification, then they couldn't go. So this year, she's at a different school, and they are having this dance. And what they do is that seniors will volunteer, and they spearhead the dance along with teacher assistants. They help, and then also student teachers. So the student teachers, especially the ones that are in special needs, that is one of the projects that they have to do in one of the universities here, is that they have to do something for, special needs, whether, it's a group project or whatever. And so they have just decided every year that the project is going to be this dance. And they have a DJ, and they play, songs that these kids are familiar with. And then the different churches and organizations and things will supply cookies and juice and water. And so it's like a 2.5, 3 hour dance right in the middle of the school day. So basically they have no school tomorrow, and it's at her school, so they don't have to get on the bus or anything. So that's really nice. And so today we are going to decide which dress that she's going to wear. She's been looking at what she wants to wear for the past week. I'm like, it can't be, you're just going to school. It cannot be a prom dress because you really don't want to get on the bus with your prom dress. It's not formal, it's just a nice dance, but they do need to, dress up. So I'm going to be curious to see what she's going to wear. And then I think she'll change clothes after the dance. I don't know if they'll still have PE time tomorrow since they're going to be at the dance, but there's no point in her wearing a dress if they do. So that's kind of what's happening around here and with her. And as for my oldest daughter, she is in South Dakota doing well. She said they had some decent weather one day, and it was in the 50s, and she was so excited. The wind wasn't blowing. And then she said the next day she woke up and they had over 19 inches of snow that fell overnight. And her boss is really good. He says that if the snow's bad, and I know that you're not comfortable because you're not used to driving in it, then don't come in. We're fine. And they have hours that they can bank if they want to work, later. And so that's kind of what she's been doing. So that way she's still getting paid. She doesn't have to take sick days or vacation or anything. So that has been really good. So I think she's working at a good place. I think she'll stay there for a little bit until they decide to move back here or to move to possibly South Carolina, which I'm really hoping that they will do that sooner than later. But I know that they need to establish there for a little bit, and they also have to save money because moving was not cheap. They don't have a lot. They only have a 1-bedroom apartment, but it was over $4,000 because of the cross-country move, and they're having to save up for it. I am not just going to hand them $4,000 so they can move. They're going to have to be able to do that on their own. And they want to make some money there because they are making pretty good money there. Let's see, what have I done with my wax? Doesn't want to stick. And I have to say, I am loving this tray. So kudos to DP Gal Creations. And again, thanks to them so much for sponsoring, for being one of the sponsors of our event. This tray, it's really sturdy. It's not heavy. It feels good to my hands. And the drills line up perfectly. I should be getting a pin in that I did pay for from our other sponsor. So I will go over that once I get it. I'm not going to go over sponsors in this video because this video is not for that. But soon we are going to be doing a video on our Josephine Wall event. But right now I'm having so much fun just doing this one. And that's actually pretty straight. These are really good drills. They are the Diamond Art Club new drills for rounds. I'm almost to the point where I am wanting to do rounds more than squares lately with Diamond Art Club because of my last kit. The squares are just so tight that I'm having a really hard time with them. I'm doing this sideways. I'm going to have to straighten these, and I will once I'm off camera. I can tell there's a big gap there. I don't know how that's a huge gap there. When I'm trying to film this and I want you to be able to see as much as possible, then I am sideways, which is not the easiest to diamond paint. I don't usually diamond paint sideways. I'm on my desk in my craft room, and that makes it easier to, oh, that's really bad. That's got to be fixed. That's just driving me crazy. Okay. Anyway, what else has happened here? Not a whole lot, really, which is a good thing. We've just been extremely busy. April and May always are the busiest, especially for work. And March starts, it just kind of starts to get that way. But this year, March is proving to be rather busy. We have open houses for new students at work. We have a senior day for 12th graders that might be interested in coming on our campus. And so we have days for them, and so we all have to pitch in and help. I'm doing some seminars for both of those. So I've got to prepare for that. And I and Paige, both of us, are going out of town this month for a long weekend. My husband's going to be at home taking care of our dogs and doing some things around here, having his own weekend without us girls. And we are we're renting a cabin with my best friend. And it's not very far from here. I mean, it's like a couple of hours. So it's not like we're going very far, but we're going to be renting a cabin, and it's right on a creek, a running creek. And it is just a beautiful place. We've stayed there twice before. It has a full kitchen, and it has a game room, which Paige is going to love. It's a 2-bedroom, but they do have bedrooms in the basement. So she can either sleep down there in one of the twin beds downstairs, or she can sleep with me, whatever Paige wants to do. I always take the upstairs bedroom, and my best friend always takes the main level, just what we do. No reason. And then they have a really nice hot tub. We are going to be making cards, doing some diamond painting. My friend isn't a diamond painter, but we'll be doing some diamond painting, Paige and I, and then I can get some cards made. I've got to finish up on my card kits that I'm taking with me to put together, so that won't take too terribly long to put together. And we're going to be doing all of that and just taking our own food. We like to take our own food, that way we don't have to get out. We don't have to do full cooking. It's already prepared. We just have to stick it in the oven. So that makes it super nice. We like to eat the same things. Makes it even better. Paige is rather picky, so I'm taking what she wants. I've got to get with her to make sure that I have everything that she wants. I've got to stop and pick up some milk for her when we get closer. There's a couple of grocery stores before we get there, so I'll do that. And then we'll just have a nice time, just a nice relaxing weekend. We don't have to do anything. And we always have fun together, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then when I get back the next weekend, I have to go, it's not even out of town. I mean, I'm going close by. It's not in my town, it's in another town close by, but we are having competitions. University and colleges have competitions. We're having a state business competition that I sponsor, and I pretty much oversee that group, that activity at work. And then I'm also an advisor to the students that want to compete. And it is a long weekend of it's going to be very busy. It's going to be a very busy weekend. And it starts on a Friday morning, and then it ends on Saturday night, but not until about 9 or 10 o'clock. And so they want us to, spend the night. They have drinks on Saturday. We have this big banquet. It's a formal banquet. So now I got to find something to wear. And we have competitions on Friday and Saturday. I think my students are going to compete. I think theirs is on Saturday morning. Then they have different types of conferences and seminars and things that we can attend. I'm going to take my diamond painting. I mean, it's only like an hour from my house, and that's in traffic, but we're required to stay in a hotel, which is fine because that way I'm not going back and forth. I'm not going to go back to the hotel or go back home at 10 o'clock at night. And that is when Saturday nights ends. And then Friday night, they're having a casual dance with a DJ, and that doesn't start until 9. I will go down there. I will make sure everybody sees that I'm down there. I will stay down there for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going back to my room. That is not something that I'm interested in. Sorry, I had to stop for just a few minutes. My daughter is out of school today for a teacher work day, and my ex-husband, her dad, is picking her up to take her to lunch to get a shake and a burger. So I had to tell her bye and lock up the house and get him, make sure that knew what they were doing. So anyway, I have the house to myself for just a little bit, which doesn't really matter because she's so quiet anyway. But one other thing that happened this week that was really, I didn't like it. My cat, and I've mentioned this before, my cat is not one of the cats, a type that is just a, snuggly, huggly little cat. She just likes to do her own thing. When she wants, to be around us, she will let us know. When she wants us to pick her up, she'll let us know. But she has the zoomies. She's always running around the house, chasing things. She's just not a quiet cat unless she's asleep. And I had mentioned before, I mentioned to my husband, I said, I wish that Salem was more like other cats. They're just so docile and friendly, and that, they like to lay on you, and they just like to, sleep on you, and, that kind of thing, like just lay in your lap. Well, we had to take her to get her nails trimmed, and they were really bad. And so the last time that we took her, the vet wouldn't do it. They couldn't do it because they said that she was just starting to get really feisty and ugly, and she was trying to, claw and bite them. And so they gave us some medication and told us to give it to her the night before she has an appointment, and then to give it to her 2 hours before she goes, to the vet. So Friday night, we gave her this pill, and we were surprised that she took it so easy. My husband told me exactly what we had to do because he's done it before with a cat that he had. So we did that, and she was okay. Then we went to bed, and she was at the foot of our bed asleep, but she was almost lifeless. And I woke up in the middle of the night, really scared me. I couldn't tell that she was breathing. And so I jumped up, went to, look at her, and she was breathing, but, it was just hard to tell. And then she started purring when she knew that I was close by. And so she was out of it because of that medicine. So I slept next to her, put my arm on her and comforted her so she knew, that I was there, but she was lifeless. I mean, I picked up her paw. She didn't even flinch. She just didn't even really hold it up. I had to hold it. So I thought, this is just awful. This isn't like her. And I felt guilty because of what we did. But I thought it's dangerous to have her claws the way that they were for us. She doesn't claw us, but she could, I guess. But I've heard from the vet that it's dangerous if they have really long claws, especially for, indoor cats. So on Saturday, I told my husband what had happened. I said, I'm kind of scared to give her another one. And she was still kind of out of it. She was running into things, and she wasn't running around. She was just very lethargic, looked so sad. And we had to give her another one. So then we took her to the vet and they said that she was just the best ever. Well, of course she was, because she was pretty much knocked out. And then when she got home, she was just so tired and sleepy and groggy. And so I put her in my lap and she actually slept there for a couple of hours while I was working. And I thought, this is kind of sweet, but that's not my Salem. And later on, Saturday evening, she became her old self again, but she wasn't, doing a lot of things like she normally does, but she was, moving at least. And then on Sunday, she made up for the lost time. She was zooming around the house, had major zoomies, chasing the dogs, antagonizing them. She would hide behind a door or somewhere in a dark place when we couldn't see her, and then she would jump out and grab our ankles. That's how she plays with us, and we were told that's how she says she's telling us that she loves us, by scaring us half to death. And she really starts purring even more and wagging her tail whenever we scream. And Paige and I always scream because you're going into a dark room, then all of a sudden you have this thing that jumps out of something and tries to scare you half to death. And then she just thinks it's just absolutely hilarious. And she is 8, so it's not like she's a kitten. And she's been doing this forever. But anyway, I am just glad that that's over. Her claws are clipped, so maybe they won't grow that much and we won't have to do this for a while. But I felt so guilty having to drug up my baby. That was just awful. I've never had to do that with a pet before, but I've never had a cat. So I don't know if that's normal, if most people just can take their cat and they're good, or if we just have a jungle cat. Because, she is crazy. She is absolutely crazy. Okay, as for diamond painting, I didn't realize I've been talking so long, so I may have to edit some of this. We'll see. But on diamond painting here, as I said, I'm working on this one. I should have this one finished. Probably won't take very long. This is almost done, all of this. I've got this over here that I've got to raise up. I haven't done that section yet. And then I will be able to move up to the next row. So I will be posting progress pics of this. And then the Josephine Wall event's coming up. If you would like to be a part of that and you would like to join Facebook group to see what others are doing, and feel free to request to join. The link is underneath my description. I also have a Facebook group that is for the Crafty Diamond. I would love to have you join that as well. And then I have my 2 co-hosts there, all of their information for Instagram and for their YouTube channel. That's on there as well. So feel free to join there. They could use your support. And if you have not joined or subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do so. More subscribers really helps get the views, which shows YouTube that I have likable videos, and so that makes it that much nicer. I am getting close to my 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I just cannot believe that that is coming up. I am going to have a giveaway once I hit my 1K, and I have actually hit 1K on Instagram. So thanks to all of you that have been supporting me on Instagram and also supporting me here, because I had told myself a year ago when I started doing this that if it did not work out, it was going to be okay. I was just going to close out my channel and then I wouldn't do it. But I'm having so much fun. It is working out and I am really enjoying the process. I'm enjoying meeting all of you guys. It has been just so much fun. And so I'm going to continue to do that. So I hope that you enjoy it as well. And I have some videos that are going to be coming out this week. When I finish Diana, that one's going to be out. I'm going to have the continuation of my series of my Diamond Art Club. That will be out again on Saturday. And then I do have some discount companies that have sent me some products to review. And so that's coming out also. So thanks so much for taking time today out of your day and your schedule to listen and to work along beside me. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.